I guess like the bigger wins this year. I think it's always a big deal when a young star scoops up an award, because so often I think what happens in Hollywood is that they think, this kid is really talented, but they'll have another chance to be up here. Let's recognize somebody older, right? But there were some other pretty significant wins here. What stood out to you?
Yeah, so this one was from earlier in the night, but Tremel Tillman made history as the first Black actor to win in the Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series category for his role in Severance. And this is so well deserved. His character, Mr. Milchick in Severance, is brilliant. And it's one of those things where, like, Severance as a show, I remember when season 2 was coming, I was like, I don't see how they could possibly top season 1. And they did. And the same is true for his performance with this character. He turned it up to 11 in such a good way in season 2. So this was so deserved. And I also really enjoyed his acceptance speech. I felt like he kept it brief. But there was, definitely a lot of acknowledgement of the hard work that you need to do in order to be successful in this industry. But also there was a little bit of humor to it as well, which I appreciated. I really appreciate him as an actor.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the acting and Severance was very much celebrated this year, and so this is one that's definitely on my list. I haven't had a chance to sink my teeth in yet, but I've heard only good things.
Yeah, I think you'll love it. It's very cerebral.
Okay, yeah. I think that's one of those things where it's like I know it's like a little bit heavier, so I have to be in the mood for like a true drama,
And honestly, I would say watch one at a time. Don't feel like you have to binge the whole thing, because it's one of those shows that I actually really appreciate that they drop episodes weekly for it. And I think that kind of like watch schedule perfectly suits it, because if you try to watch multiple episodes of Severance in a row, it can just be kind of overload. So do one at a time. I think you'll appreciate it more.
Nice. We also celebrated a couple of anniversaries this year during the show. Most notably, 40 years of Golden Girls. Reba was in Reba was on hand along with the girls of Little Big Town, and they did a rendition of the theme song. So I thought that was kind of a sweet way to kind of, commemorate 40 years of one of the most iconic sitcoms I think that we've seen. So that was fun. 25 Years of Survivor also got a shout out. Survivor we've also covered on What the Hype as well. I've never seen Survivor.
That makes me feel old. Really?
Yeah, this is a huge gap in my pop culture. But maybe this is the year 25 to try it out.
Maybe. I'm not much better on this front. I remember, oh God, Survivor started when I was like 10 or 11 years old. And I remember watching season 1 with my parents. Everyone was like really into it at that point, but I kind of fell off of it after that. But I know What the Hype host Micah is super into Survivor. So he could probably, and I mean, I know he has done a primer for us on Survivor before, so he can get us up to speed, probably.
Yeah, or at least recommend a really good season for me to watch from the back catalog. I'm assuming that it's similar to like Big Brother, which I do watch. There are like some seasons that are more iconic than others. So
yeah, yeah, I would think so.
And then something else that we have a vested interest here on What the Hype. 25 Years of Gilmore Girls. If you're a Gilmore Girls fan, I would highly recommend looking up this clip of Alexis Bledel and Lauren Graham presenting, because it's so much fun. And I just love that you can tell that they so easily slip back into that same banter that I think we all fell in love with watching this show. So it's always really fun to see them get together.
Definitely. And also shout out to another episode of this podcast. We celebrated 25 years of Gilmore Girls around Mother's Day this year. So that's another episode you can go back either in our podcast feed or on YouTube to check out.
Nice. And then you wanted to give a just an honorable mention to the chair of the Television Academy, right? In his speech, which was also very good.
Yeah. So, Chris Abrego basically called out Congress for defunding public broadcasting and really gave a stern sort of call message to everyone in the room to say neutrality here isn't enough. Like, we have to take this responsibility and our stewardship of it seriously, because literally, like, these channels for, creative access and education are being really limited, and that's ultimately bad for our society. So I really appreciated him giving that call out, because I know tonight's show was really trying to tamp down on the amount of political discourse happening, but especially given this particular kind of award show, I think it needed to be said.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's like, stuff that you see on PBS is so important. I think it was really great that Netflix was able to save Sesame Street, which is huge. Sesame Street was literally created to help underfunded families still be able to, give like a piece of like learning to their children.
Yeah.
So, that's great, but that's such a small speck of what public broadcasting is able to do, and it's really sad that they've been defunded. And so, I hope that the continuation of calling out how important it is will kind of turn over a new leaf, and we'll see it funded again at some point. Yeah.
Well, not for the next few years, I don't think.
That's true. But after that, there might be hope.
That's a different podcast,
right,
where we can talk about that.
So just to wrap things up here, I know that we talked about a few things that we're both interested in catching up with now that we've tuned into the Emmys this year. But is there anything else that you're particularly excited to check out?
Yeah, I would add Adolescence
to
my list as well. So The Pit and Adolescence.
Mm-hmm. For me, I think it's Hacks, which I really like. I know everybody always says like you would love it, and then also Andor. Andor's another one that's high up. Yeah.
Well, and it's only 2 seasons.
Yeah, so low commitment, which is nice. And I believe Hacks is also 30-minute episodes as well. But I've heard nothing but good things, and they keep winning. So I feel like I need to check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, let us know what you're going to be checking out as a result of the Emmys this year. You can do that by reaching out to us in a variety of different ways. We have a bunch of social media handles that you can come check us out at. We are at What the Hype Podcast on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram, and we are at What the Hype Show on X. Our website is whatthehypepodcast.com. And if you want to email us about anything, you can do that at whatthehypepodcast@gmail.com. Finally, if you have a friend or family member that needs a quick recap of what went down at the Emmys this year, be sure to share this episode with them and let them know that we're walking through a different aspect of pop culture each and every week here on What the Hype. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you will join us for the next episode. We'll see you for that soon. Bye.
Thanks so much, y'all. Bye.